Welcome everybody to another Battlefield Autopsy. I'm Stuart from Tabletop Nation, and I have with me James
Yes.
M. Hewitt.
Apparently, I'm told, yes.
The M is silent, I understand.
It is, yeah.
And we have here Rich Jones.
Hi everybody.
And you guys have been playing some DreadBall.
We certainly have.
Yeah, more or less. It was one of the weirdest games I think either of us has ever played. But technically, it was still DreadBall.
Rich, you want to talk us through a little bit of how it started off?
Okay, well we diced to see who had which teams because we had all four available, and I ended up playing the humans and versus the vermin.
Yes.
And
Very cool.
I was visiting. I got the visiting card, and I have a sneaky suspicion the vermin left us orbiting the planet for quite a while with no food or water because the players didn't start for about the first 3 rushes.
Excellent.
I have never seen a corporation... Sorry, no, I'm going to correct myself. Short of the time that Chris Palmer, one of the Mantic honchos, short of when I saw him play, I've never seen a corporation team fail so spectacularly to do anything with the ball.
That's right, James, because you helped with the development of DreadBall, so you're an expert at this game, is that right?
Ooh, well, disclaimer. Trying to think of reasons now why I can get away with having played such a terrible game. Yes, yeah.
Excellent. So, Rich, you managed to turn the tables on the DreadBall Supremo here.
Yeah, in the end, it was up and down the stadium for quite a while.
Yeah.
And then the last few rushes, the humans came good.
I think, if anything, in my defence, obviously, this shows that writing a game and being good at a game, 2 very different things.
Excellent.
I mean, I believe you yourself called to mind the great thing that, like, England are very good at making up sports.
Yep.
And terrible at
letting everybody beat them.
Yeah.
So that's basically what it is. You effectively made your country proud by losing at the game that you invented.
In a very English way. Yes.
Excellent. And so, Rich, in terms of how the game went, any particularly memorable moments other than people not turning up?
People falling over, not picking the ball up.
I think the best moment...
Are they supposed to? Isn't that part of the
It
charm
is
of DreadBall?
It is part of it. I mean, possibly my guard, who isn't ever supposed to go anywhere near the ball, managed to dribble it up the pitch and pass it to right in front of my striker.
Shortly after your striker had failed completely to pick it up. Guard then, punched
Stevie Gerrard
it
he was.
beautifully.
Stevie Gerrard. All the way across the... Yeah. What else did we... We had some weird and wonderful happenings.
We had some very, very strange things happening. We had, my
the vermin passing
foul.
it from one end to the other.
That was impressive. The beautiful foul where I brought a 7th player in, just over here, just to hurt someone over this way. I brought a guard in from my reserves bench, bringing 7 players onto the pitch. I can't recall whether it was actually...
For 1 or 2 rushes, and it did pay off.
Yeah.
Or at least he didn't get sent off.
Didn't
did
get
he?
sent
Didn't
off,
get
no.
sent off.
Oh, yeah, because then
The ref
I
didn't
then
see
brought
a
my
thing.
other player...
The ref was blind.
No, ref was nowhere to be seen.
Okay, so in the way of things, so these fellas here, these are the vermin.
The vermin, yep. You're holding a guard there. They only get 2 of those. So your vermin are your big, crunchy combat characters.
Yep.
They generally don't touch the ball, except in certain situations, as we saw today. The vermin only get 2 guards, and the rest of their players are strikers, who are the exact opposite. They can't do anything involving violence.
Okay.
They can do generally impressive things with the ball, except that being giant space
They were very
rats,
good at holding my players while the guards hit them, to be honest.
Absolutely, yeah.
I'd
The
call
rat
that having
pile
something to do with
tactic was
violence,
working.
yeah.
But yeah, and the thing with the vermin team is you don't have any jacks. Jacks are your middle ground players who can kind of do a bit of everything. The vermin team lacks those, which gives you a few disadvantages.
Right.
Which, I'll be honest, I don't think really came in so much in this game. I didn't feel the lack of jacks. When you're playing against, for example, a Marauder team, and the guards just destroy your 2 guards.
That's the Orcs, isn't it?
That's the Orcs, yeah. Okay. Your big green Orky types. When they take your guards out, suddenly you're entirely without hitting power, and it puts you at a big disadvantage. But no, today it wasn't such an issue.
Okay. And so you had the corporation of these guys, the Tron-Tech 29ers? Or is that who they are, how they're painted up to be?
No, I painted them up to be a team I'm going to use in our league.
Excellent.
The warrior dolphins, basically.
Warrior dolphins.
They have got a really good Hawaiian name, but I can't remember it. But it translates as warrior dolphin.
Warrior dolphin. It's a pretty good name. I mean, bearing in mind, I doubt these guys speak English, so it's probably no more intimidating.
A few squeaks.
Yeah, absolutely.
Squeaks.
No, that nice little figures as well. I really like loads of character in them, considering that effectively these guys all look like various shades of a cross between Iron Man and a Stormtrooper. There is actually quite a difference. Even just looking at these two figures here, you can really tell them apart. For, I suppose, easy reference on the table.
And what's nice, Rich has done some really nice work. Just doing some little conversion work instead of just using hot water, pretty much.
Just dipping them in hot water.
Yeah, just bending the resin and getting some different poses so the team looks a bit more varied, which I think is awesome.
Oh, very, very nice. So overall then, other than the initial shenaniganry, was it pretty much a whitewash, or were there...
No,
it was close. I mean, towards the end, my last turn, I very nearly pulled it back. Which, you still could come back.
The ball shattered on him.
The ball shattered on me. That does happen occasionally. Titanium isn't as good as it used to be. But I think it was very close. It shouldn't have been as close as it was because your dice...
I think you were winning to my last two rushes.
Yeah.
And I pulled it back and then scored in the end.
Rich's dice were so bad, we actually switched dice twice.
Yes.
I let him use mine.
He made me switch the first time because he was almost crying himself.
Yeah.
Almost crying himself.
Okay, so overall then, the humans got a solid victory over the vermin in the end.
It was a 5-point victory.
5-0 victory.
Yeah,
5-0.
Well, it's always going to be
5-0. Didn't even get a point.
Well, the way DreadBall works, you see, Stu, is it works on a differential scoring system. I believe is the technical term, meaning that you start off with the score at 0 in the middle, and it kind of swings like a needle either way as you score points. Which means the score is only ever there's only points on one side effectively. Yeah. So it will always be a 5-point victory. I see. Victory.
Okay.
Effectively, you're counting the difference between the two scores.
So I think I went up to 2, and then you pulled it back
to 1. I think,
0. I think was it, and then you scored again and went to 2, and then I pulled it back to 1 and 3, and then 5. I mean, I've never missed so many strikes in a game ever.
I've never made so many or hurt so many people while playing as vermin. It was like we were playing opposite teams. It felt like I was playing a human team against vermin.
Oh, okay.
It was very bizarre.
So that being the case, with the pendulum, were there moments where it was within your gift to win, or do you think it was always against you?
Right towards the end, it came down to at the end. I think it was a 3 dice check, needing at least one of them to be a 5+.
Okay.
So running the odds, you're looking at pretty much a dead cert. Of course, it didn't.
You missed the last strike of your
if I'd done that, it would have pulled the score back to 1 point in my favour.
Yeah, and I would have had to.
You would have had a turn to.
I would have won, but
exactly. I mean.
No. The last rush I scored in.
Would have crushed you still, James, but
I scored.
Would have made more of a game of it.
Scored in the last rush, so basically I would have.
The way DreadBall works is if at the end of 14 turns, you play 14 rushes.
Yep.
At the end of the 14th rush, if the score is 0. You play until there's a winner.
Right.
Although after that point, you're in sudden death. You can't bring any reserves on, and if you can pound the enemy into the ground effectively, you can win at that point without scoring.
So it does sound quite a tight way. And so effectively, it's a continuous play. You don't reset the board.
Absolutely, yeah. And it will always go down to the last 2 turns, pretty much, because you're playing until the end.
Because if it doesn't go down to the last few turns, you've normally won by 7, and as soon as you get to 7, the game's over.
Yeah.
So the 2 ways of winning is to get 7 points, and then you've won, or whoever's
in the lead
ahead
at the end of 14,
after 14 rushes.
So good game.
So he saved the
Amazing
landslide. Game. Yeah, it wasn't a landslide. It was 7-0. So
really good fun, and it had some real laugh out loud moments. We were enjoying ourselves. We had a couple of hiccups towards the start. We forgot to put the ball on. We find the ball, and the referee, in fact, we find these things are helpful when playing a game.
So had you started to play before you realised it?
No.
We were just starting to play.
Yeah. We blame it on being moved around a bit. The stadium wasn't quite built, apparently.
Is that right?
But no, other than that, it was good. It was eye-opening. I mean, for me, playing a game of DreadBall competitively is quite a new experience, because up to now I've mainly been involved in either playtesting it or demoing it, where you're looking at things other than trying to win. You're trying to see how the rules work, see if they're broken, or show someone new how it works.
Would you say you are one of the better players of DreadBall in your playtesting groups?
No, no.
So really,
No,
not,
he's the best.
Not...
He's the best. He's being modest.
Oh, okay. Here we go. Here we go.
Which obviously increases the victory that you.
Oh, does it? Oh,
I've inadvertently stood you up to be some kind of champion of the game, and I beat you.
Yeah.
Oh, how has this happened?
how gracious of me.
Okay, well, that looks great. Now, obviously, some of you might be thinking, well, okay, so James he was heavily involved in the development of DreadBall, and Rich here is just some bod we've dragged it off the street to play him. But you'd be wrong. So, Rich, you've got an event at Tabletop Nation. You're going to be running the Copper Bowl, I
The
understand.
Copper Bowl, yeah, in a few weeks from.
Is that the 27th?
27th
of January. Which, if you're watching this before the 27th of January, I'm fairly confident you can still grab a ticket and pop along and see what it's all about. And that's for Help for Heroes.
It is, yeah.
That's lovely. So, obviously, what we're going to have to do then to show that this wasn't an utter fluke is we're going to have to catch up with you on the event. So, if you're watching this after the event, there should be another linked video where you can see what came of.
How we did.
Yeah, absolutely. Rich's his triumphs at the Copper Bowl and see what came of that. But well, thanks ever so much, guys, for coming in and
great. Thank you very
sharing your glory and your pain. I hope it's been informative for you guys back home, guys and girls, should I say. DreadBall, for me, I always kind of thought about it as like, well, it's like kind of space Blood Bowl. But from the way you guys are describing it, from what I'm seeing here, and the more I'm looking at it, it does seem to be quite a different kettle of fish.
Yeah.
Well, it's not kettle of fish at all, but it's a game. But you know what I mean.
I believe a kettle of fish is one of the MVPs that's coming out for season 4.
Oh, is that a season 4? Season 4
no
special.
Season 4. Yeah, that's gonna set the forums alight, isn't it?
Yeah, you're gonna have
My team
Ronnie
could
on
be
the
a kettle
phone
of
going,
fish.
James, what are you saying? No, that's cool. So anyway, thanks ever so much for joining us. Thank you both.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And we'll catch you next time on Battlefield Autopsy.